Welcome down to episode 11 of the Cutting Marks podcast. This is take 2. I won't catch Ellen out this time.
I'm good.
You're good. You're good this time. You're warm.
Yeah.
You're warm now.
I'm warmed up
She was cold 30
I felt the
seconds ago.
radiator, so now I've got a bit of heat going through my blood.
So you okay?
Yes, I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. You haven't been in the office hardly at all the last week.
I know. If it's nice to sit next to you again and actually speak to you.
I'm going to say. It's always a privilege to sit next to me.
Yeah, so I've been out on the road loads, been working from home a bit more now because I've got 2 puppies. So life is just, flying by.
Yeah. Where have you been?
Been all across, really. Mainly based in Manchester. Been travelling there quite a bit. Where else have I been? Yeah, predominantly the West Midlands, really.
West Midlands up in Manchester.
Manchester, yeah.
Cool. You popped into, did a courtesy call yesterday, didn't you, for one of our customers?
That was really nice to see.
Yeah.
It was really good to see. Moved premises as well, so they're doing very well for themselves.
Looking for more equipment.
More equipment, yeah.
Big question is, has our equipment helped them move to a bigger premises?
It has.
For people who listen, I've got 2 thumbs up right now. But that's what we like to hear.
Yeah. I mean, now because they've upgraded their unit, what they're doing, the machine they first bought isn't doing what it needs to do anymore. They need to upgrade their size of their machine.
Right.
For productivity. It's just too slow at the moment. They need a bigger machine to load bigger pieces of material on it to cut faster and be able to, push out more.
Yeah, for more output.
Orders out the door.
That's good. So what machine have they got at the moment?
At the moment they've got a Wood laser machine, the C500.
Yeah.
So that's the smallest one that Wood offer.
Yeah.
In the glass tube range, and they're looking to upgrade to the biggest one, the C1000.
Great.
The daddy.
Yeah, that's huge.
Of them all.
So they must have a big unit. They
Yeah.
must have moved to a lot bigger unit because you need some serious space for that thing to go in.
Yeah, there is a lot of space in there, which again, it's probably why the customer had in the back of their mind thinking if I'm going to upgrade the unit, I'm going to need to upgrade my equipment. So perfect.
Yeah, so for people who don't know the size requirements of that C1000 machine, it's 1.6 meters wide and by 1 meter deep. And that's just your bed size, isn't it? So that's not your overall machine size. That's just your available cutting dimensions.
Yeah.
And that's edge to edge at 1.6, isn't it?
Yeah, unless you have a camera, then it brings it in by 5 mil. It's not much really, is
5 mil or 10 mil either side.
Yeah.
Over 1.6 is nothing really, is it? But so you can upgrade that one with the cameras and everything.
Yeah.
That's cool. This podcast today is a guest episode.
It is.
So we're not going to be on the camera too long together. We have, who we got in?
We've got a girl.
Or who have we had in?
We've got a girl called Jessica Parker, get my words out, and she has her own small business.
Yep.
So I used to work with her in my past job. So watching her grow her own business was really interesting, and I thought it'd be a great opportunity to get her in, talk about it on the podcast and see how she's doing and reasons why she's decided to go and create her own small business and what equipment she's using for it.
Yeah.
Just trying to inspire those that maybe want to do that but don't really know how to go about doing it.
Going from literally brainwave to getting your own business together. So I don't appear in this podcast after this little section because when Jessica came in, because you've known her for a long time, just like listening to the vibe of the conversation in the room, I thought, you know what, I don't want to be a third wheel in this conversation. So I decided to sit it out and just let the conversation flow quite naturally between you and her. So how long has she been doing it for now? I suppose she'll cover this actually in the main bit of the podcast.
We'll keep all that information for in the podcast, but it is quite a new business. It started up during the pandemic.
Okay.
So you'll have to listen in.
This is the thing with times of adversity, like tough economic kind of situation that the country's in at the moment. You see kind of people go, oh, what can I do with a bit of a side hustle and things like that, and then that's where our machinery also steps in for people. Oh, I can create, like if you haven't got a lot of space at home, then you can go, oh, I could buy a Cameo or I could buy a portrait. It doesn't take a lot of space and I can start making X, Y, Z and I've got a bit of income then it starts growing and growing. Then all of a sudden, before you know it, if you get it right and you set whether it's an Etsy shop or something like that correctly, it can soon snowball, can't it?
Yeah. We've seen that quite happened quite a bit, really.
Yeah.
And also, like, on the other front, people are outsourcing, and it's cost them a lot more than what they've kind of valued it to be if they were to do it themselves.
Yeah, so you have the initial outlay of the machine, but once that's kind of paid for itself, then
You're winning, aren't you?
yeah, you've got the equipment there, and then you can diversify. And with pretty much everything that we do equipment wise, because it all runs pretty much off that XY technology, whether it's a little cameo cut, like one of the silhouette craft cutters through to a Graphtec cutter, the technology, left, right, front, back, XY, that's all the same. And the lasers are the same, except you have the Z axis on the up and down.
Yeah.
But other than that, but that's fixed once it's cutting, it's just on the X and Y, isn't it?
Yeah.
So everything that we do pretty much revolves around that technology. And it's really good to see how that technology can allow you to go from, say, a brainwave through to your kind of office workspace at home, through to, oh, this is actually maybe a career for me now, my own business. So yeah, we have all the different products like that available to buy, and we are more than happy to speak. So if you want to give us a call, if you want to drop us an email, get in touch on social media, whichever, we're more than happy. We're not keyboard warriors, so we speak to you on email. We're more than happy
we
to
love having a
chat.
conversation.
Yeah.
We love picking up the phone and just kind of having a feel of what the customer is looking for.
Yeah.
So yeah, pick up the phone and we're happy to have that conversation with you all.
Yeah, but without further ado, I will pass you to Ellen to introduce who we've got in.
Drum roll.
Yeah.
So we've got Jessica Parker from Jessica Hollie Gifts. Today I'm really excited about, actually. We've got Jessica, who I used to work with in a previous job. So we've got Jessica who's coming today to talk about how she started out going on her own, business on her own, talk to us about the kind of processes, on why she decided to go for a Graphtec machine, and just how really she's getting on. So here's Jess.
Hello.
So yeah, Jess, we actually worked together in Rallowise, didn't we?
Yeah.
So Rallowise is a garment wholesaler for bags, coats, clothes, and how we were introduced really is you were on the marketing team and I was on the print team. So we did a lot of events together. So printwear and promotion being one of the key events that we did together, didn't we?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how we met. So I used to work on the print team, you know, using the Graphtec equipment, and then your part to play was setting everything up, wasn't it?
Yeah. So at Rallowise, I was the events coordinator. So I did all the trade shows and things like set all the trade shows up, and like printwear and promotion, all shows like that. And then obviously Ellen was in the print team.
Yeah.
So we'd work quite closely sometimes.
Yeah.
On that side of stuff.
So it's quite nice today that we're actually sat down catching up together, because it's been a couple of years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Since then we've both moved companies.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've now got a company of your own, which is really exciting. I'm really interested to find out more about that. So yeah, and then obviously I'm now with Graphtec. So tell us about your sort of path and why you decided to kind of leave that type of industry, and then tell us more about like what you're doing now.
Yeah. So I was, like I said, I was the events coordinator a couple of years ago at Rallowise, and then I got a new job as another events coordinator nearer Manchester. But unfortunately, because of lockdown and things, I got made redundant from that. So I was sort of in a bit of a pickle on what to do.
Yeah.
And then I was just thinking I couldn't really go back into events because there were no events jobs at the time.
Yeah, pandemic hit. There was nothing going on, was there? Yeah.
So then I sort of just thought about starting my own business. It's always something I've had in the back of my mind to do.
Yeah.
Is having my own business, and yeah, just kind of used what I'd known from my previous job
in events. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of grown from there. So
yeah. So what gave you a kind of idea to go? Because tell the people that are listening, like what you do, like what is your business, what it is.
So my business is Jessica Hollie Gifts, and I primarily started on Etsy, doing all personalised gifts. Such as my biggest sellers at the moment are like dog toy baskets.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And boxes and scrapbooks. So any sort of little personalised gifts and bags as well, makeup bags.
Yeah.
I sell on Etsy, and then from that, my Etsy store really grew quite rapidly over lockdown.
I was going to say, was that during the pandemic?
Yeah.
Is that when you started your company then, before the pandemic?
I started it May 2020. So
Okay.
it was kind of just
In
a
the
bit
limbo.
after.
Yeah.
And then I think everyone had to shop online because they couldn't get into the shops.
Shops are short.
And then people wanted to support smaller businesses as well at the time, so it kind of
worked out well.
out well for me.
Yeah. So what gave you the idea of going down the personalisation route? Was it because of what you've seen, like in Rallowise, seeing that printing environment?
Yeah, I think so. I sort of had seen it myself and knew that it worked.
Yeah.
And also I myself like giving personalised gifts.
Yeah.
I think they're a nice little touch.
Yeah, like at Christmas time, you make it a little
Yeah.
bit more special for that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can do that now, can't you? You've got
Yeah.
all the equipment to do
Yeah.
it. Amazing. So at the print shows that you did, or any of the events that you did you get like hands-on feel on the equipment?
I did a little bit, yeah. At a few of the shows, I sort of was asking questions and things like that, always in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
I just like to learn about them, and I always had, seeing the equipment and stuff, I'd always quite interested in them.
Yeah.
And how they work and things. And even now, I'm a sucker for a new machine. I always every few months I say to my boyfriend, "Oh, I could do with a new machine."
Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Birthday's coming up.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, I always say like, oh, when I've got the next machine, I can do this and do that."
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So where you work at the moment? Have you got your own unit? What equipment have you got?
Yeah. So I work in my mum and dad's house. They've got a office in the garden. So
Yeah.
I've got that as my little studio thing.
Oh, nice.
And I started off with a silhouette machine.
Okay, which one was it? The original Cameo? Yeah.
Yeah. So I first had that when I first started. Loved it. It was great for starting. And then I bought another.
Did you? So
I
you
had
had
two on the go.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Yeah.
And then now I've got the Graphtec.
The CE machine. Yeah.
CE machine, which is
So
great.
you've upgraded then.
Yeah.
Do you still have your Cameo machines?
I've still got them just in case. But
Yeah.
I use my Cameo Graphtec machine
now
on the daily, every day.
Oh, wow. I didn't realise that you had two of the Cameo machines.
Yeah, I had two.
So how come you went for two Cameos? Was it just because you were quite familiar with how to use them?
Yeah, it was just at the time when I first started it, I wasn't sure how far it was going to go or whether it was just a lockdown thing. So I didn't want to invest in a bigger machine at the time. But then as it got busy and it was kind of steady then, I wanted to upgrade to
a bigger machine, quicker as well. Yeah.
So
did you buy your Cameo then online? Is that where you found
I
it?
did, yeah.
Yeah. Did you do research behind it before you got it?
I did, yeah.
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 So they are good machines, and we find like a lot of customers do buy a Cameo machine before they upgrade. So a similar, like literally what you've done.
Yeah.
Buy a Cameo, see how they get on with that, and then they upgrade then to a Graphtec machine because it's all about speed, the amount of work that's going through it. So yeah, and you create your own designs then as well.
Yeah.
Do you do that all yourself?
Create all my designs. Look for the new trends and what's happening.
Yeah.
And just, I think with your business, you've got to be ahead of the game. Otherwise, you kind of miss the boat on stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just keeping up with everything. But I love it. I love keeping up with like what's new, and it's just so exciting, I think.
Yeah. When I heard that you went on your own and you create your own business, I was really like excited for you.
Yeah.
And then now actually it's like sat in front of you and you're actually telling me like what you've done.
Yeah.
I'm just really happy for you. I really am.
Oh, thank you.
Especially like because you come from like a different background, like you've not been in like the print industry to see or to use the equipment on a day-to-day basis, and then you just come in like and just kind of pick things up and thought, there's something in it, I can make something from from it. So
Yeah.
it's really nice to see.
No, thank you.
So when you have your Etsy account, then do you do bespoke stuff, or is it like a set template where people order?
A little bit of both. So if
Yeah.
someone comes to me and says, "Oh, I really like this, but can you do it this way?" I kind of can say yes or no. A lot of the time I can do bespoke stuff, but the majority of orders are sort of a template that I've designed, and then they'll change the name or they'll change the date and things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah.
Really.
And do you find majority of the customers that purchase stuff from you is from Etsy? Because you've got a website as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
And obviously Instagram, that's a great platform to buy things from as well.
Yeah.
So which platform would you say is
The
like,
biggest-
the best for you?
The biggest is Etsy.
Yeah.
But then obviously I've got my website, and I'm also I've got a few little things on Amazon
Oh,
as
wow.
well.
Yeah.
And what else am I on? I'm on something else. Oh, Fair. Have you heard of Fair?
No, I haven't.
That's like for wholesale orders. So
yeah.
if another small business wants to order my products and sell them on, then they can get them from me at a wholesale price.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
on
nice.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, my my website is growing.
Yeah. Well, your businesses as well.
Yeah, it's growing quite a bit, which is exciting as well.
Yeah. Is it just you as well doing everything?
It is, yeah. I do have my mum helping me do some weeding sometimes.
Yeah.
If I'm really busy. I'm like,
But it can take some time though,
yeah.
can't it? It
Oh,
can
yeah.
really take some time.
Yeah.
Do you find that like with your cutting machine, you can put different materials through it? So you've got like vinyl, or you've got heat transfer vinyl.
Yeah.
Do you find that you sell more of, you know, a certain product, whether it be personalized, you know, like cups or candles, compared to t-shirts and bags?
Yeah, so the majority I do through my cutter is heat transfer vinyl.
Yeah.
I do normal vinyl as well, because I can do that on the boxes and things. So do personalised names on the gift boxes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is primarily on the dog baskets, really.
That's a unique one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And everyone loves buying little things for dogs.
Yeah.
I was telling the guys, it was on a podcast.
I think I heard.
Did you hear
yeah.
it? So we're getting 2 puppies
that's
and we're
so
picking them up on
exciting.
Saturday. I'm so
Aw.
excited. So I might have to put an order in for a basket or 2. But yeah, like I was looking at different things to buy, like collars and things for dogs.
Yeah.
And I looked on Etsy. That was like the first place I went to. So usually, like a couple of years ago, it was eBay was my go-to for like different things. But Etsy, for me personally, is where I would go to for birthday gifts, Christmas gifts,
Yeah.
anything a bit different.
Yeah, something different. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Is that? Do you think that's why you went onto Etsy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just a good platform for personalised things.
It's easy to use as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
And I think it's only just really through the pandemic it has really grown. I don't think many people really heard of it a few years ago.
Yeah.
Although it has been going for a while, but I'd never ordered anything off Etsy myself
No.
until like 3-4 years ago. So yeah, I think it's gonna do really well. Well, it is doing really well.
It is doing really
but
well.
Yeah.
It is doing really well. Do you think, like going back in time, if you didn't get made redundant from your job
Yeah.
in events, would you have gone on your own? Because obviously the last couple of years you've done so
Yeah.
well. Would you have taken that leap if it wasn't kind of...
I'd always wanted to. And
Yeah.
I had spoken about it before and doing my own thing, but I didn't really know what
Yeah.
it would be. So it had always been in sort of the back of my mind to want to do my own thing. But
Yeah.
I think if I wasn't doing events, I'd actually want to be in the police.
Oh my God, I
So-
think I remember you telling me this
Yeah.
ages ago. Yeah.
So I think if it all goes wrong somewhere, I'll apply for the police.
I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine. But either way, either job,
Yeah.
either career path is good.
Yeah.
You'll be making your own uniform for the
Yeah.
police. What else was I going to ask you? If there's like, say, a listener out there right now and they're listening in and they're unsure on starting their own business and they want to do the same type of route that you're doing with
Yeah.
personalization, what would you ask them? No, what would you ask yourself?
Yeah.
what machine you would go for, because obviously out there there's a lot of information with, you know, what machine
Yeah.
to get, you know, what you start off with, all these different types of printing products out there as well.
Yeah.
So what would you guide somebody if they were kind of wanting to go down the personalization route?
I think starting off, I would definitely recommend the Cameo. It was a really good machine for me to get started, and I loved it so much I bought another. So
So
I could
something, doesn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
so it doubled my speed time. But yeah, definitely the Cameo is a really great, like, affordable way to start as well.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people getting into sort of the craft, it's great for just doing your own crafting as well. But yeah, definitely the Cameo.
The Cameo, go down the Cameo route.
Yeah.
So have you just got the cutters? Do you have any other equipment?
I've got the cutters, and I've got the Oki white toner printer.
That's a good machine.
Yeah.
That is a good machine. So you can do full colour prints then, can't
Yeah.
you? Because with the vinyl, it's like one colour unless you layer it up.
Yeah.
So with the full colour, it adds more,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
So people send you like pictures in to print?
I've not really had much, no,
Yeah.
but they could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another opportunity.
Yeah.
So what are your plans then for like the next 2 years, having seen how successful things have been the last 2 years?
So I did actually put a deposit down for a unit.
Oh, wow.
A couple of years ago. Well, not a couple, probably about a year ago.
Yeah.
But it's still not built, so that's really delayed. So whether I'll get a unit, I'd like to get a unit and have staff. That would be what I'd
Yeah.
like to do in the next
Yeah,
couple
because your
of
mum's not
years.
going to agree to do the Sweden,
No,
you know, forever.
no, she's not. So yeah, and also potentially expanding to getting like a laser machine as well, and offering
Yeah.
engraving and things like that.
Amazing.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So started off and then build your way up.
Yeah.
Would you maybe go on, get a shop on the high street? Is that sort of the goal, or
I'm not sure. Probably stay
Yeah.
online, I think.
online?
Yeah.
I think having what's happened the last couple of years, I think that's kind of where people are looking, aren't
Yeah.
they? Especially with like the high street stores closing down and things like that. So
Yeah.
I definitely think online. Have you ever thought about like the Christmas festivals and markets and stuff like that?
Yeah, that would be quite good to do.
Yeah.
And I have looked at trade shows. So there's like the national wedding show.
That'd be good to get into,
and
wouldn't
things
it?
like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that could potentially be something I do next year or the year after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like scruffs and things for dogs.
Yeah.
You could have your own little
Yeah,
stand
that'd be really
there
good actually.
because you're already doing dog things, aren't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
There's
that'd
so
be
many
good.
different things, isn't
Yeah.
there? There's so many different things. What do you think of our office? Was it what you thought?
I don't know. I didn't really
Did
know
you
what to
not?
expect. No, but yeah, it's cute.
Yeah. Amazing. Have you got any questions that you want to ask me while you're here? Like about any products or anything?
Maybe like what would you go for if I was to ask you about a laser machine?
A laser machine?
Yeah, what would you suggest?
It all depends really, like what material you want to do. So if you're thinking of maybe doing acrylic signs, we did some samples the other day for like little engraved tags for dogs. Funny enough, it's on
yeah.
the same kind of
Yeah.
thing. The laser machines that we have, they can cater to all different types of materials. They just can't cut through like metal, but engraving onto aluminium, stuff like that, all the machines can do it. So really it's a case of what size you've got in your workshop or you know in your space at home to fit a laser machine in there. But they open up so many different opportunities,
Yeah, definitely.
especially when it comes to Christmas as well. So everyone's going to be getting a laser cut or a laser engraved, you know, something from the laser machine. But yeah, the laser machines that we have, they've gone to various different people, people that are cutting out like garments, for instance, for pattern designs, footwear. And you've got the retail side where they're doing like acrylic signs and little lamps and stuff. So it definitely does open like more doors.
Definitely. Yeah.
And even like the material, like say cardstock, you can put that through a laser machine as well.
Oh, that's good.
So it's only really like vinyl stuff that you wouldn't put through a laser machine.
Yeah.
So you'd keep your cutters, vinyl cutters separate to your laser machine. But yeah, that's exciting that potentially you'd be expanding onto that side of things.
Yeah.
Ooh, exciting times. Lovely. Well, what is your to let everyone know as well, where can we find you online?
Yeah, so on Etsy it's Jessica Hollie Gifts. Pretty much everything actually is Jessica Hollie Gifts. So my website's jessicahollygifts.co.uk, and on Instagram as well. And I'm actually trying to start a YouTube channel. I've not put any videos up yet, but yeah, that'll be also Jessica Hollie Gifts on
And
YouTube.
what will be to see on the YouTube channel?
So like business tips and tricks.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Going back to your social platforms.
Yeah.
You've got quite a lot of following, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did that take time to build up?
Yeah, it did take time to build up, and I think at the moment as well, the algorithm on Instagram is so difficult. It keeps changing all the time. So at the moment, it's Reels that are doing really well.
So that's another job then, isn't it? You've got like doing all the orders and then also the social
filming
side.
it at the same time. When it's busy, it's hard to get the content and stuff. But I'm trying to build that up as well.
Yeah, and are you doing all that yourself as well?
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything myself.
I'm surprised you had time to come here today. Amazing. But yeah, it was really nice to get you in and to see you because it's been so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully it's been an insight for those that, are looking to go down their own path of personalization and to see how successful things can be. So yeah, if anyone wanted to see any more of Jess's work, then head over to the website, social platforms, and you can see all your work there. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Cutting Matters podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, then feel free to drop us a comment and leave us a like. If you haven't already, then please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification when doing so you get notified every time we upload more content. If you're listening on podcast providers, be that Spotify or Apple Podcasts, we'd really appreciate it if you could leave us a rating. But for now, thanks for joining us on the Cutting Matters podcast, and we'll see you again soon.